welcome back to another video, and in this video I will be showing you a comparison of two pieces. Two pieces of what, you might ask? It's two pieces of a landscape sort of scene. It's set in a landscape type of view, and one of these I did 3 months ago, and this next one I did several days ago. And I would say right off the bat, I'm gonna say that this is a very accurate and realistic depiction of what progress would look like. And I know sometimes progress can be freakish and it can happen overnight, but in my case, landscapes, environments, all that kind of thing is actually quite a tough thing for me to do. And I think doing it this way and showing, I think what might look like 10% improvement is quite realistic to believe. I'm not like I'm not lying about this, right? I'm not showing you some kind of crazy improvement done within like a couple of months. I think this accurately shows all the struggles and learning things that I have like gone through that to get me to this point. And it's not actually like a massive improvement. And it's not just an improvement in trying to make things look like it would make sense when put in an environment or landscape setting, but it's also what I would say an improvement in making an environment look like it's more atmospheric, as in you can actually feel like you can be in it more. And I would say it's more of an artsy type of improvement, not just like me improving and doing landscape. It's sort of just me becoming more artsy somewhat, because if you compare it, and I'll be showing you the one I made 3 months ago, but like right now I'll just be showing you what I've done several days ago. If you were to look at this, you'll notice immediately that I am more loose with my outlines, and I am more loose with just simply sketching. I guess you can also call this just sketching, because I'm not really caring much about parts of the background that are still showing through, or like just parts of the like whatever, like tree or sky or a background that's still unpainted. There's lots of these little gaps that's just still unpainted and finished looking. I'm not really caring too much about that. I'm focusing more on the bigger picture, because the bigger picture is what makes it's what sells the picture. Like the little things, if you want to fuss over the little things towards the end, I think that's fine. But I just think if you want to make a picture look like it would make sense, it would feel like it makes sense, I think there is a point in time where you are painting it where it's just okay to stop. You know, like if you just stop at a certain point, it's already good enough. And the remaining amount of time, however many hours you want to put into it, it's just the perfection phase. Like how much of a masterpiece do you want this to be? And then you can like put more time into making it more perfect. But when it comes to just making a sketch that feels good to look at, and then like it makes you feel like it's a pretty looking thing that you're looking at, I think it's okay to stop quite early on. And I feel like that's the case with this latest one that I've done. And you can see I have also added a bunch of birds, and look at the ground now. I left it sort of unfinished, right? Because I'm not trying to make you look at the ground. I'm trying to make you look at this figure here, and also trying to make you look at this big tree. And it's actually the bush tree type of plant that I have drawn out in last week's video. And I think that's actually enough. You know, like, I'm also quite brave. You know, I'm in adding these splash effects and glowing effects. It makes everything look like it's in motion, because when you are like, let's say you're having a hike, you're on a hike, or you're taking a walk somewhere, or you're speed walking, or you're jogging, you might feel like you're passing through some place that is actually quite beautiful, but everything seems like it's in motion because you are in motion, and you never really like see everything from the point of view of, let's say, a camera. because you are a human being. Everything looks like it's moving. When you think back, like when you get home and you think back about what you've seen, what you will probably remember is how that like certain things looked like when it was in motion. Like if it's frozen in time, you take a picture, it looks quite awkward compared to, let's say, I remember jogging through this place, it was quite hot and the trees were swaying also gently and it felt warm and it was nice and windy. That's probably what you would remember better, and it would create a stronger memory compared to just if you were to sit still and then take a picture, you know. So I think I pulled it off quite well. And let's compare that one to the other picture I made several months ago, like 3 months ago. I started off quite tight, actually. No, I wouldn't call it tight. I would say stiff when it comes to my line art. I've added the line art in quite thick strokes, and instead of like light pencil strokes that barely puts down any paint on the canvas. And I immediately started painting it, even though I couldn't really tell what it is that I'm looking at. And I think one of my mantras that often comes true is I can only paint as good as I can draw. So in this case, I wasn't quite sure what it is I'm trying to draw, and I wasn't really sure what it is I'm looking at, and it really shows in the end, because instead of figuring that out early, I just pushed forward. I kept coloring it, I kept shading, I added so many colors, and I kept rendering it, making it look more perfect as best I can. But it didn't work out all that well because I couldn't really see what it is that I'm looking at to begin with. And I put in a lot way more hours into this one compared to the first one that I did. The one I did several days ago, I must have done in like an hour and a half. Like, it was really fast. But this one, I must have spent at least 2 days on it. And you can clearly tell that I'm struggling with this. I just kept painting and painting and painting. It never really got anywhere. It never got better. It didn't really get worse. It just kept changing, but it stayed the same level of just, I would say, like, I don't even know what to call it. Flaccid, I guess. It's just like the same level of just meh, you know. It didn't really end up wowing me, but I'm gonna show it to you anyway because I think it makes a good realistic comparison as what progress would look like. So if you're struggling with learning something, I would say just go for it. Just keep doing it every single day, trying to improve, and you'll get somewhere. And I think the progress that I have shown you should encourage you somewhat, because if you look back after months and months of learning, you'll definitely see progress, okay? And I don't know if I'm going to just speed run this. I'm going to improve immensely in a short amount of time or something. I don't know. Hopefully that will happen, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep doing this. I hope I get better with doing environments, because I sure have, even though it's not by much. And hopefully you will too. So that will be it for this week's video. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, please feel free to just ask down below in the comment section, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye bye.